Head coach Clint Mylymok joining me right now. And coach, a big three-game sweep of New Jersey to start off your playoff run there. What was your assessment of the team out of those three games?
Just stronger every game. We had a bit of a break, which is always sometimes tough to play the first one. But the good news is we found a way the first one to get it done. And I thought we just got better and better as the series went on. And especially game three, I thought our game was like more recognizable in terms of what we're trying to be as a team. And I thought our guys were good. I think early on in the first period of that game three, I just looked at our coaches and like our guys came to play. You could tell just with their physicality, puck movement, like they were sharp. There was no soft plays, and I thought they were dialed in. So a testament to our leadership group to have guys ready.
Especially against the team that you guys were so even against in the year. And it started off the Friday night game one, had a little bit of penalty issues. What did you kind of do to adjust and try to make sure that everything was on the up and up? Because the PK kind of had a little, not a great game on game one.
Yeah, the first game was that's usually timing or just over anxious and overextending. And we made a couple tweaks and changes to our PK and really focused on it a little bit more, just to remind guys of what our PK is and where to be, where to stand, and all that. And I just thought that might have helped a little bit, but also just being in sync, being in rhythm. Like special teams is tough when you take some time off. And our power play did a good job, and our PK after the first game I thought was great. I think they scored one more power play goal after that, and that was off a double deflection. So other than that, I thought our PK was great, especially game three. I thought they had a tough time getting set up, other than the one time where the guy was running around and Leapak made some save. I don't know how without a stick.
You look at the team that you're facing now in Maine, third time in the last 4 years you guys faced off for a bid to Blaine, and you've only seen them four times this year, once up there, one weekend up there, one weekend down there. How does that go into terms of, I guess, with everyone changing and the rosters changing a little bit here and there in terms of scouting and everything like that?
Yeah, they didn't make many changes. They brought Zion Green back at a BC, who we're familiar with from a couple years ago, and but they didn't really make many changes. So play the same, watch them on video, and they look the same to me in terms of what their strategies are, the pace they want to play at, how they want to get up ice. So to me, it's going to come down to what it usually does, which is who plays their game the best and who's dialed in and can impose their will or their style of play on the other team and make them have to adjust, and that's not going to change probably at any level.
You have a couple guys from last year in the same spot again this year. How has their voices been uplifted through this whole playoff run?
Just they've been there. Like there's never panic. I think they're just calm. Like they're a calming influence. I have not heard our guys get fired up, and we've had some guys this year where you're like, hey, let's relax a little bit. Some older players maybe, and I haven't heard it in the playoffs. I'm really proud of how they've just focused on like what the coach's message is, and they're facilitating it on the bench. So I'm assuming they're doing that in the room when we're not there. And the voices have been good. The coaches this time of year, it's minimal pushing and prodding. It's more tactical for coaches, I think, because we've done all the pushing and prodding to get us to this point. Now it's always kind of what are you guys going to do come playoff time as a group, and how much have you learned, how much can you apply, and can you adjust on the fly as well with all the things we've done. So we've tried to prepare them all year for everything they're going to see, and I think our leadership group has just done a good job, not just like with positive messages, but also what we're doing on the ice. Like that's when you know your guys are bought in, when they're talking hockey on the bench and not like, the buzzwords. Hey, we got to compete harder. We got to do this. And they're talking, hey, F1 should be here. Hey, do this, do that. So that's where it's more fun as a coach to know your guys are prepared. And we always say we need to compete. That's a given. But the other stuff, the intangibles are important. And leadership is important. And I think, they're doing a good job. You can ask the young guys you're interviewing later what it's like because they're in that room. But our older guys, no panic. Just we've been here before and we know what we need to do. And they've done a good job leading the way.
Head coach Clint Mylymok.